What if I told you that you could raise a year's worth of chicken, healthy, hearty, and at a fraction of the cost you'd spend at the grocery store? Imagine never having to worry about food prices fluctuating. Imagine taking control of your food source without breaking the bank. It's not a dream. It's a reality. A reality learned from one of the most resourceful and self-sufficient communities in the world, the Amish. Today, we're going to unveil their secret. A method that has been passed down for generations. A method that has withstood the test of time. But this isn't just about saving money, it's about taking power back in your hands. Stay with me, because in the next 35 minutes, you'll discover how you can easily raise your own chickens without draining your savings. And the best part, you'll have a year's worth of healthy, farm-fresh chicken ready to nourish your family without the hassle. But first, let's understand why this matters more than ever. You might be wondering, why go through all the trouble of raising your own chickens when store-bought chicken is so convenient? Let's face it, store-bought chicken prices have been soaring. A package of organic chicken breasts can easily cost upwards of $10 a pound, and that's not factoring in the inflation that seems to creep up every year. And don't even get me started on the health risks that come with some mass-produced chicken. Hormones, antibiotics, the list goes on. But let me ask you something. Can you afford to keep paying these prices year after year? Imagine waking up to a freezer full of meat that you raised yourself. No middleman, no overpriced grocery stores, just the satisfaction of knowing exactly where your food came from. This is where the Amish come in. They've been raising chickens for generations in a way that's efficient, budget-friendly, and, most importantly, sustainable. Now, I want you to step into the mindset of the Amish. They don't just see raising chickens as a hobby or a way to save money, they see it as a lifestyle. The Amish live by a set of principles: simplicity, self-reliance, and resourcefulness. They don't rely on stores for their food, and they don't waste. They work with the land and their animals in a way that most of us can't even imagine in today's modern world. What if you could adopt some of these principles? What if you could stop depending on store shelves and start creating your own reliable food supply? You don't need to be Amish to benefit from their wisdom, just the right knowledge and mindset. And the best part? The Amish have perfected this process for years, and today I'm going to reveal their strategies. The first thing you need to know is that not all chickens are created equal. In fact, choosing the right breed is one of the most crucial steps in the entire process. The Amish, for example, don't waste their time with fancy breeds or chickens that are hard to manage. They choose hardy, reliable chickens that are excellent layers and grow quickly. Think Rhode Island Reds, Plymouth Rocks, and Sussex chickens. Why does it matter? Because you need chickens that can handle the elements, thrive on a simple diet, and produce enough eggs and meat to feed your family. The wrong breed will cost you time, money, and energy. Things that you can't afford to waste. Stick with the breeds that are tried and true. I'll give you a breakdown of the best options in a few minutes, so don't worry, your chicken farming journey will start off on the right foot. You're probably thinking, okay, but what about the coop? Isn't that going to be expensive? Here's the thing, it doesn't have to be. The Amish are known for their ingenuity when it comes to building. They can create beautiful functional structures with very little money. And you can too. The key is simplicity. A basic coop for your chickens doesn't need to cost thousands of dollars. In fact, with some basic tools, recycled materials, and a little elbow grease, you can build a sturdy and efficient chicken coop for under $200. But what if I told you that you could use materials that were lying around your home, or even pick up free materials from places like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace? That's right. The Amish never buy more than they need. I'll show you exactly how to do this step by step, and the materials you'll need to keep your chickens safe and comfortable without breaking the bank. Now here's where things get really interesting. You might be thinking, okay, the chickens are set up, but what do I feed them? The Amish don't run to the feed store every time they need to feed their flock. No, they have a secret that can save you hundreds of dollars a year. They rely on local, affordable food sources. They make their own feed by mixing grains like corn, oats, and barley, and supplementing with kitchen scraps and foraged greens. That's right, your chickens can eat a variety of foods, many of which you already have access to. I'll walk you through the exact process of creating a homemade nutrient-packed chicken feed that's both healthy for your flock and incredibly cost-effective. You won't need to spend a fortune on expensive prepackaged chicken food anymore. But that's not all. The Amish have another trick up their sleeve: how they extend the productivity of their chickens year-round, even during the coldest months. Eggs. The Amish know how to maximize egg production, and you need to learn how to do this too. Chickens lay fewer eggs during the winter, but with the right setup and care, you can extend their egg production throughout the year. The Amish do this by providing warmth, proper lighting, and a balanced diet, even in the colder months. I'll show you exactly how to keep your hens laying consistently even when the temperatures drop. Trust me, you won't have to depend on expensive store-bought eggs again. But before I tell you all the secrets of egg production, let me pause for a moment. Imagine waking up to a fresh basket of eggs every morning, not just for a few weeks, but for the entire year. Think about how that could change your routine, your budget, and your sense of security. Keeping your chickens healthy doesn't have to be costly. The Amish are masters at maintaining healthy flocks without relying on expensive veterinary bills or medicine. They use natural remedies and preventative care, and I'm going to show you exactly how they do it. From natural supplements to home remedies, you can keep your chickens happy and thriving without needing to spend a fortune. I'll also share how you can avoid common mistakes that can lead to costly losses like disease outbreaks and predators. The Amish approach to flock management is straightforward but incredibly effective. The moment you've been waiting for, the harvest. When your chickens are ready, it's time to process them. The Amish have perfected the art of butchering and processing chickens in a way that minimizes waste and maximizes every part of the bird. I'll walk you through the entire process, step by step, showing you how to humanely and efficiently process your chickens for meat. And don't worry, I'll also explain how to store and preserve the meat so that it lasts throughout the year. But let's take this a step further. The Amish know how to make every single part of their chickens work for them. Not just the meat or eggs, but even the feathers and the bones. They've learned how to use everything, ensuring nothing goes to waste. For example, chicken bones can be turned into delicious, nutritious broths, packed with vitamins and minerals. The feathers? They make great natural insulation, helping to keep your home warm in the winter months. Every part of the chicken serves a purpose, reducing waste and maximizing value. But the lessons don't stop there. The Amish are experts at creating long-term solutions. They don't just raise chickens, they raise their entire food system. And in the same way, you can expand your homesteading efforts by growing vegetables, foraging, and finding ways to preserve your food throughout the year. Imagine taking this system of raising chickens and expanding it to a full-scale homestead. What would it look like to have an entire year's worth of food right at your fingertips? A garden full of fresh vegetables, chickens providing eggs and meat, and the confidence that you're living in a way that's both sustainable and independent. But I know what you might be thinking. That sounds like a lot of work. How do I even begin? Let me tell you something. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. If the Amish can do it, so can you. I'll guide you through simple steps to make this dream a reality. But here's the truth. Self-sufficiency isn't always easy. The Amish have faced countless challenges throughout their history. From weathering harsh winters to dealing with pests, disease, and other obstacles, they've learned to persevere through adversity. And you will too, you see. Raising chickens and building a self-sufficient lifestyle isn't about having everything perfect. It's about learning to adapt. It's about being resourceful. When things go wrong, and they will, whether it's a chicken that gets sick, a coop that needs repairs, or a difficult winter, you'll face the challenge head-on and come out stronger on the other side. There will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt, but those are the moments when you'll feel the most pride. Because when you overcome those challenges, you'll know you're capable of doing anything. The journey to raising a year's worth of chicken and ultimately achieving complete self-sufficiency is as much about the process as it is about the end result. And remember, the Amish didn't get to where they are overnight. It took generations of hard work, trial and error, and persistence. But they did it, and so can you. But here's one of the most crucial things that the Amish do differently: community. While they may live a simple, often isolated lifestyle, the Amish are incredibly close-knit. They help each other out. Whether it's building a barn or processing chickens, their success doesn't come from individual effort alone. It's the power of a supportive, cooperative community that enables them to thrive. Now, you may be thinking, I don't live in an Amish community, so how does this apply to me? Well, here's the good news. You don't need to be Amish to build a support network. It's about connecting with like-minded individuals who share your values and goals. Perhaps it's a group of friends or neighbors who are also interested in raising chickens or starting their own homesteads. Or maybe it's an online community that can provide advice, share resources, and even trade or sell what you need. The Amish show us that when we work together, we multiply our strength. And when you tap into a community of people who are also striving for self-sufficiency, you'll realize that you're never alone on this journey. But if you're still wondering whether it's possible to do this on your own without the Amish community, stick around, because I'm about to share exactly how you can get started, even if you're completely new to the concept of raising chickens and living off the land. So, how do you get started? What's the first step? It's simpler than you might think. First, take a deep breath. This isn't a race. Start small and build your way up. Just like the Amish, you'll begin with what you can manage and gradually expand your efforts over time. Start with a small flock of chickens, say 4 or 5 hens, and a simple, cost-effective coop. Next, focus on learning the basics of chicken care. How to feed them, how to keep them healthy, how to collect their eggs. These small actions, when repeated every day, will start to add up. Before you know it, you'll have enough eggs for your family and maybe even more than you can eat. But don't stop there. Start planning for the future. Think about how you can expand your homestead, how you can create a food system that works for you year-round. Get creative. Remember, the Amish didn't just raise chickens. They raised everything they needed to survive, thrive, and feed their families year-round. And you can do the same. The best part? It's not as hard as it seems. In fact, it's probably easier than you think. By following the same steps I've shared in this video, you'll be on your way to having a year's worth of chicken in no time. And just think, when you look in your freezer, when you see your chickens and your garden growing, you'll know that you've done it. You've taken control of your food. You've provided for your family. You've become the kind of self-sufficient person you always dreamed of being. As we come full circle, think about what you've learned. The Amish have a way of life that's both timeless and incredibly relevant to today's world. In a time when food security and budgets are top of mind, they have the answer we've all been searching for. Take control of your food source, and you'll never need to worry about prices again. Imagine the freedom that comes with raising your own chickens, preserving your own food, and knowing that you've created a sustainable, budget-friendly lifestyle for your family. And while this journey may be challenging at times, it will also be the most rewarding thing you do. You'll grow stronger, more resourceful, and more independent each day. The Amish don't just raise chickens, they raise resilience. They raise families that thrive even when the world around them is uncertain. And now you have the tools to do the same. The question is, are you ready to take the first step? Remember, the path to self-sufficiency starts with a single step. Take that step today. Subscribe for more inspiration, tips, and practical advice that will help you live the life you deserve.